recording. Avoid legal snacks by telling people they're being recorded. More privacy info. Sorry, you're being recorded.
Hey, okay, Mom, turn off the call with the lawyers. He let me know. I didn't know where I was going with that one.
I'm just glad you're witty. Yeah. If it wasn't for that, I'm like, I have one line. I just read. You know that has to come up with the response.
Yeah, I might randomly switch it up on you and tell you it and try to catch you off guard.
This is how it feels to be on the other side.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff. What one is that? I can't see it.
Wait, I'll do one. It's Chia seed Mojito.
Oh.
From El Palmar juice. It's from Thailand. Vietnam, my bad.
I keep getting. I don't think you've repeated flavors yet. I feel like you always have a new flavor.
We just got these in.
And now, what does a chia seed taste like? Yeah, live taste test.
I don't think it has a taste.
Yeah, that's not very good. You would not make it as a taste tester.
With that, roll the intro. We're back.
Yeah, as I was saying, you would not. That's one of those jobs. I feel like it would kind of stink to have if like you were a professional food critic, because I feel like you could never just enjoy a meal. I feel like your taste buds are just like superior, and so you can always point out flaws.
Yeah, you would go into like work mode.
Yeah.
And if you imagine if you have like go over to your friend's house and they cook it and you're like, you missed on the salt, or like that part was too salty, too dry, or whatnot. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you would never have any friends wanting you to visit.
I actually saw on TikTok video, this home inspector. He does this for a living. He inspects homes and basically says what's wrong with them and why it's wrong. So when he would go to his friend's house, he pointed out different things of like wood damage or whatnot. And one time he did point it out, his friend was like, "Well, you know how to fix it?" And the friend was like, "Yeah, I know how to fix it." And so like, the friend got the tools out and everything. So instead of enjoying a nice barbecue, the guy spent like the next 2 or 3 hours fixing the faulty wood or like the broken chipped wood off the window. He's like, "I've learned to keep a mouth shut." So, I guess for a food critic, they were like, "Well, how would I do it better? Is it, can you come cook?"
Yeah, then you're like, well, I'm just the critic I am and actually not a chef. I can only tell you what you're doing wrong. I can't fix it.
Yeah. That's where some of the comments for the home inspector were. It was like, you're basically the jack of all trades, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, you know, why the whole house is wrong, but like, can you fix it?
Can't fix it. I think that would just be annoying to have. Like, personally. I'd be like, I know this shouldn't be there, but I guess maybe you probably know like basics of a lot of things, but I don't know. Again, this is us talking handyman things, not being a home inspector.
And neither of us own a home. So, neither of us are homeowners. So, I don't think, yeah, we don't even know, like, when things go bad for us, we have somebody to call and be like, "Can you fix this?" Yeah.
I feel like that's like the best way to learn how to do it is like when you are a homeowner and like things are kind of like funky, and I don't know if it's like plumbing issue or something like that, looking up YouTube videos and figuring it out kind of on your own that way. And then you understand it. You kind of have to be thrown into the situation.
That's true. Like now I understand why dads have their wall of like tools, like
Because you never know what problem might pop up.
that, and it's just really expensive to call a handyman to fix every single little problem.
Yeah.
Say a clogged sink or something, where like you literally can just like um and like loosen up the valves and like get the dirt out from the pipe.
Yeah.
And it's like simple 5 to 10 minute steps, but you call a plumber in, might charge you like $50, $70 just for that. And you're like,
Yeah.
time to learn how to do it yourself.
Yeah. And sometimes all you need is like a hanger and unwire it, then stick it down the drain and try to mess with it that way.
That's the other way, yeah. Interesting. Huh.
Speaking of, Candace and I's sink in our bathroom at the apartment, it
Uh,
does. I'm like a lot of sinks do it, but if you have the water on full blast for maybe like 5 seconds, the drain isn't quick enough for it, and so it starts like filling up slowly, and
mm.
so we put Drano in it, and so we'll see. I'll update everybody next week because I'm not at the apartment right now. If the Drano worked.
Uh-huh. Huh.
I
Does
don't
it
even
have the
really know what
little
Drano does.
dissolve something?
Yeah. I mean, it just breaks things down, pushes it through.
Yeah. The commercial, right? Well, does it have the little top thingy? Like you could like clock.
Yeah, like the stopper.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes even just taking that out and taking and cleaning that top thingy,
Yeah.
like from the bottom, unscrew it and take it out. Sometimes that's full of hair, especially if
Yeah.
you're with somebody with long hair.
Or even just me too, like shaving.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's something that I know I need to stop doing. When I shave, I just put it right down the sink.
Uh,
Like I should probably just like catch it in like a not like a towel or something, but maybe like paper towel and then just throw it out. I don't know.
there's actually kind of like a towel plastic thing, like you put it onto your mirror, connect it, and then like
Oh, it's
you
like a
somehow
bib. It's the
yeah.
bib that goes up there. Yeah,
Yep.
I've seen those. Yeah, I might need to invest in something like that.
Candace like gives you it as a gift. Hint, hint.
Yeah, she's like, take the hit, Sawyer. I'm sick of the drain going slow.
Yeah, I've had that, and usually, yeah, pulling up the top, cleaning it helps me, and then if that doesn't help, Drano, with the top off, so it gets the Drano no gets in there. Mhm.
Yeah, but again, I don't know how much I can trust something that I have no idea how it works. All I'm thinking of right now when it comes to Drano is the commercials. It's the twisted pipe, and then you put it in, and then like, woo, all the stuff inside goes away.
Mhm. There's like a TikTok video of kind of like that pipe that goes like wobbly or whatnot.
Uh-huh.
He's like, well, unscrew everything, and he basically like twisted the pipe down with a bucket, and so all that dirt literally went down, and
Oh,
that unclogged everything. Oh, did you know washers have a filter?
washers. I guess that doesn't surprise me. I know dryers have a filter, and then like washing machine, like dishwashers have a filter. So I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Like you're talking about like a clothes washer, right?
The connection. There's a
Oh,
problem with the network.
oh,
Wait,
we're back.
wait. Oh, we're back. It said connection lost. I was so scared.
Oh no. Well, are
Uh,
you talking about like a clothes washer
yeah.
or like a dishwasher? Okay, because like I know a dishwasher had filters and everything, so it doesn't surprise me that clothes washers do.
Uh, you're supposed to clean it every I don't know how many months, but yeah. And if your washer starts smelling, it's probably because you haven't cleaned the filter. And when you clean it, you smell the horrible smell of all the things that got into it.
Nastiness.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, when we first moved into the apartment, we ran the dishwasher with some of our dirty dishes, obviously, and then
mm,
opened it up when it said it was done, and the bottom of the dishwasher was just completely full of just brown water, and so we're
mm,
like, oh gosh, no. And so I looked up and I typed in like the model of the dishwasher and all this stuff, and it's like it's a draining problem. And so some things that you could do is you could take out the filter, clean it, and then there's like a little hole where usually the stuff goes down. Like put your finger in there and try to move it around. First of all, the smell of this water absolutely disgusting.
Uh,
And so I'm doing it and nothing's happening. And so
uh,
then I had to call the maintenance guy and I'm like, I tried a couple of things and none of it's working. And he's like, oh, it looks like they forgot to cut the hose where the water drains out of. And so whoever installed the dishwasher didn't cut the hose. And so if like, you would have just kept running it, the water would have just kept filling up. So he's like,
uh,
it was nothing you guys did or anything. I'm like, good, because this was the first time that we used this. So I hope I didn't bust it.
you just get a brand new dishwasher then.
Yep.
Nice. Huh.
Yeah, that was one of the positives about our new place. Is like it was all new appliances because they were renovating. And like they're still in the process of renovating all the other ones too, and so
Uh-huh. Ah,
no complaints.
you guys are getting a new wing or something?
Oh,
Or,
so it's. I think it was just really because all it used to be like a darker tile on the ground with darker walls, and then they
uh-huh.
just realized we need to brighten this up, and so now we have like white floors and white walls and everything. So I think they just knew that they needed an upgrade. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're on like the second floor. It's just two floors. We're on the second floor. So we think that they did all the second floors first, and now we're moving down to the first floors.
Huh.
So kind of just it needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen old pictures of the apartment, and it just looks gloomy compared to all the white stuff in it now. So
Uh-huh. Huh. Huh. Interesting. I'm just like, I think that's one of my dreams of like owning rental property. So my parents have rental property, and I want rental property. My sister has rental property. I'm the only one without rental property.
you need to get some rental property.
Yes.
Well, hey, you got the experience from Basham.
Yeah. And even before that, since my parents own apartments, for the interview for Basham, I was like, yeah, my parents own apartments. So all through high school, I'd basically be doing this and like maintenance work. And they like, asked me questions to make sure I was actually legit. Because apparently people lie about that stuff.
I would assume like you get some lies in there. Like I just need the job. Like I'll figure it out.
Uh-huh. And so I asked her more of like, how'd you figure out somebody was lying when they told you they used to work for like a leasing agent or something like that? And like, well, I asked him questions and he couldn't answer any of them.
Yeah.
Like the maintenance issues. And I'm like, when she asked me, she basically asked, so what exactly did you do? I'm like, basically everything with maintenance, like lawn care maintenance, mowing, weeding, and everything inside. The only thing we didn't touch on was like electrical work.
Yeah.
My dad did not want to touch with electrical stuff. He knew it was like, yeah, that's electricity. Don't mess with
I was
it.
gonna say that's one of those things that would you took the words right out of my mouth. You just don't mess with that because one wrong touch, if something's still on when it shouldn't be, that's not going to be a very friendly shock.
Yeah. And so, I think that, yeah, mostly just electrical work he wouldn't mess with. Everything else, it was like he would try to figure it out, and then if he couldn't figure it out, then he would get somebody.
Yeah.
But most of the time, he could figure it out since it was like very simple.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's what a lot of it is. Like every once in a while, you might get like I have no idea what the issue is here, but I'm sure most of it, like if you do it once, it's pretty standard.
and then
Or
if
like
you
you could figure it out.
and then if you need like a pro plumber or like a pro electrician or whatnot, they come in, fix it, and they're like, oh, was it that simple?
Yeah. It's like, well, it's simple for us because we've done all this stuff before. So did you guys have, I guess, do you guys have just like a list of contractors that's like you like this guy's really good with this girl's really good with this, and so if those issues come up, you have like your go-tos, or does it just kind of whoever's available for a rate that you guys are okay with, you go with?
Mm-hmm. I think whoever's available, but usually
Yeah.
with contractors, we usually do it in house. I have a maintenance guy who
Mm,
knows a little bit here and there, and can basically figure it out. He's smart enough to like try to use different ways to solve a problem, and
mm.
hopefully one of those solutions, like one of those theories, works out. And
And if
there
it
you go.
doesn't, then you call them the big guns.
Yeah, and then once again, like when you call in the big guns, You can probably learn it from them,
Mm-hmm.
and then we don't have to call them again.
Yeah.
Like my sink was, and when I had the apartment at Purdue, um, my sink it wasn't. What is that little thing you call it that like spins and like crushes all the food?
Oh, the disposal.
Yeah, the disposal wasn't going around. It was stuck, so we called the maintenance. And when he came in, he literally would just like stuck his hand in there, make sure it was off, and like put like something wood so it wouldn't turn on or whatnot. Well, like tested it out and realized it was like stuck, and like he put his hand down there and tried to get like a coin out or something, or an object out, because he's like probably something got stuck down there, and that's why it's not spinning because
Yeah.
it's plugged in and everything. And yeah, they're right. A coin got stuck there.
Dang. Well, first of all, jealous that you had a garbage disposal in college. My apartment did not have that. My apartment, it was our sink was linked to like the people next to us's sink, and
Hmm.
there were girls in the other apartment, and they would always put like avocado peels down the sink, which
Oh.
you're not supposed to do, and it would clog the sink, and then it would back up our sink, and so the guy had to come in like 2 or 3 times in the
Uh.
year, and he was like, because they always had to come to our side to fix it, and then they would go over there and be like, "Stop putting avocado peels in the sink." But
uh. Why would they put
yeah,
avocado peels in the sink?
I don't know. Like, it just throw it in the trash can. It's not like those things smell or anything.
Like did
The
uh, like like did they used to have like a home with a really good disposal thingamabobber that like would crush up the peels?
uh, I mean, I feel like if you have like a basic disposal, like it would have probably been fine with it. But the fact that they were doing it when we like nobody had a garbage disposal, so you just
Uh.
had that big chunk just sitting in there, like not
It's like
good.
if you don't have a garbage disposal, don't put food objects down the drain.
Yeah.
Huh. It's like that.
Um, in toilets, in the tank, how
Uh,
there's like the chain that connects it to when you flush it, and then it like pulls up like the plunger on the inside of the
mm,
toilet. Our
yeah.
chain snapped in the Purdue apartment,
Uh,
and I fixed it by putting a paper clip and something else to like attach the chain together. And
uh,
so it worked, but I'm like, I feel bad for whoever came into that apartment afterwards because there's no way that that thing is holding up forever. And so they're gonna open it up and be like, "Wow."
uh, when I was working for the leasing agent, I soon realized I was like overdoing it when I was like critiquing the apartments of what needed to be fixed.
Mm.
Because none of the things I would list were getting fixed. And then the later on, one of the managers, like the head agent or the head office person, was like, "Yeah, just write down like any like major problems,
Yeah,
not every single little thing,
they're
because they're
not gonna
probably
go
gonna
through getting every small problem fixed. It's only ones that make it kind of unlivable that they'll fix.
yeah." And like the first time they described it to us, like no any problems that the apartment has, and we'll try to get maintenance on it. And so like I listed every single problem.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, they knew that you had an eye for it, so
And the worst part was the girl, the woman who like was in charge of everything, recently quit, and so it was the
mm,
first time the other manager kind of took over, and the other manager was just the marketing person, and she
uh,
really didn't want to be the head person for the turnover season. Turnover was like when college students move out and new ones come in. They
yeah,
have a 3 week window where all of them move out and then basically have to clean them, paint them, carpet, fix any holes, and then get the new guys in as soon as possible because
yeah,
they want to get in ASAP. And I think the 3 weeks are like um, right before school starts, so they try to get in by like 2 weeks, but that's always yeah, that always doesn't work out. So they get some in 2 weeks, but most in like 3 weeks.
yeah. How long did you end up working there? Were you there for 2 years, or was it
Yeah,
one? In
2 years. but
Okay.
it was a part-time thing. I worked mostly for
Mm.
my parents for most of it, and then a few hours here and there. And like the first year, when the busiest time is the fall, so that's when I give tours and just want to learn how a bigger maintenance uh, company did it compared to my
Mm.
parents. So my parents have like 75 units. These Basham has like 308 units, and like um I think they had like 700, like I'm not sure it was like 780 or like 900 beds, because with Basham
Oh,
apart they count the beds because they do individual contracts for each bed rather than each unit.
interesting.
So yeah, and well, they don't do individual contracts, they do joint contracts. So all the roommates are liable for that rent, and it's not just one person.
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
I mean that's what kind of happened with me because I was originally supposed to room with um, Andrew,
mhm,
and then he became president of the fraternity, but we had
mhm,
already signed the contract. So then they had a sub he had to sublease it to Charlie,
mhm,
uh, and so the joint thing. So then if one of us didn't pay, we were all three getting screwed.
mhm.
Because then they
Yeah.
would come after us. Well, they usually go after Andrew, and then Andrew would have to get on Charlie's butt about it.
Mm, yeah. And so yeah, I'd be that person emailing people.
Yeah.
You need to
Oh,
pay.
it's Angel again.
Yeah. The biggest issues was like when we would do tours for the apartments, and they don't give them a heads up. It's like you
Yeah.
signed a contract that states for the leasing season, you are we are allowed to go into your apartment from reasonable times, which is like when the office is open from 9 or like I think 10 to 4 or 5, 4, 10 to 4 or 9 to 4. And so we would go in there and people would always be surprised. Like, you guys don't give us any like head notice or like email. I'm like, sorry,
We
it's in
don't
your
need to.
contract.
We knock on
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah, we give a knock and that's about it. And some
Yeah.
people would really get really upset. And I'm like, yeah, they told me it's in your contract. I can't change the contract. I'm just a student here. Actually, I just
Yeah.
graduated.
I don't want to be here. You don't want me to be here. Let's just go quick through this.
Yeah, like I have no power. Like if they want to like debate with me, I'm like, ma'am, you are right. I have no power to change this.
Yeah. We
And
will
then
have to ask you to step aside.
uh,
I know our apartment got toured like three times, like two or three times. When like again, just completely out of the blue, we had no idea that they were coming over, and it was just because our unit, I think, like was the last unit that needed to get leased out of our complex, and so it was like whenever somebody was interested, like we were the only option, so like they just came to our place. And there was one time when it was like just got back from classes. I opened a beer. I was sitting down, starting to play some video games, and all of a sudden, knock, 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 and I'm like, "Well, I look very scummy, but okay, you can come on in." Like, and the first time, I was like trying to be all proper, like following him around, like, "Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know." And like by the second and third time, I'm just like, "Do what you got to do." Like, I'm gonna be over here.
yeah, that's the hardest one. Your complex was very popular because it's right across campus, right
Mm-hmm.
across academic buildings. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you can't get any closer than that.
Yeah. Usually, people that were engineers would go for ours just because it was like a 5 minute walk to like or I would say maybe like 10 minute walk to the furthest engineering building from the apartment. It was so close.
Dude, that property, I don't know how much it's worth, but it's worth a pretty penny.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and they were
Um.
big places too. Like yours, I think yours when we came back to visit for homecoming,
Mhm,
when I saw the one that you were living in when my car
mhm.
got towed. I think that one was probably a little bit bigger than me and Charlie's, but like very similar size. And didn't you have like three rooms in yours? Or was it just two?
Just two.
Just two.
Yeah. We had yeah, the one where you visited homecoming, and then the one previous, which I think both of them were smaller than yours because you guys had a big living room and kitchen area. Well, not kitchen area.
Yeah, kind of like dining room
Yeah,
kitchen,
yeah,
where like it wasn't carpet, it was more of that like plastic tile stuff.
yeah. And so I think it was like the dining area. But our first apartment, yeah, the kitchen and dining area was small, but it's like yeah, it's better than anything's bigger than a fraternity room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the first room that I lived in the fraternity house, it was literally a closet. It was the smallest room, and I think it was like voted one of the worst rooms in the house. And it was me and Andrew. We had it. They made it a bunk beds, but whoever made the bunk bed didn't care about the person on top because I probably, if I was laying down on my back, you could probably lay one more like person on top of me and then like a half of a person. Like I was right at that ceiling. It was a small room and I had no like spots. I think it was like used for storage or something. And then somebody was like, "Oh, we could put another bed up there." You shouldn't have put another bed up there, but
That's hilarious. I think I remember going into your room and I'm like, dude, if you ever like decide to wake up in the middle of the night and like just sit up,
like,
boom.
yeah, you would wake up quick and in pain.
I think I remember doing that for uh my dorm room, and I actually like sat up and hit my head on the roof and just laid back down. I was like, that's a sign I need to go back to bed.
Yeah, this isn't happening right now.
But Brooks ended up building a really nice bunk beds for well, it was his room and I just happened to be his roommate. It was like it's out for us. It was for him. That was some quality woodwork, and like that was sturdy as hell.
I
Like,
wish you would have made the bed in mine. Could have contracted him out for a quick minute.
like he had his dad come over, and yeah, they worked on it and everything. It was like some really nice wood. Like I think he ordered like I don't even know where he ordered it from, but yeah. And Brooks' parents were really cool. Dude, like I don't know how much beer they would buy him if he would get like straight A's or he would like beat his previous GPA. And by beating his previous GPA, it's like basically all A's.
Yeah, it's like you have to go from a 3.99 to a 4.0. Like,
Basically. And he was an engineer in computer science.
yeah.
That guy was a beast. Socially, academically. Yeah. This, I guess I was like, uh, socially, he was like a smart nerd with like a little bit of social skills. Because when he would go on topics, we would be like, Brooks, none of us understand you right now.
Yeah. That was you just sit back and you would listen. I remember a couple of those over like lunch and stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea what the heck is happening, but I'll pay attention. Uh oh. Uh oh. Yeah, okay,
One.
we're back.
Oh!
I don't know what it is. Like I got four bars, but whatever.
Are you
But
using your cell phone? Oh yeah, you have unlimited.
well, I'm not using my cell phone. I'm using my parents' Wi-Fi.
Mm.
But I was saying that I was a part of some of Brooks's conversations over lunch, and I would just sit back and be like, I have no idea what the heck you're talking about, but I'm just gonna listen. Maybe chime in. Never ended up chiming in, and I was just like, I hope somebody disagrees with his point of view on this, just so I could see a back and forth, because that happened quite frequently.
He would know so much about the classes he was in, like computer science classes, like math classes, that he would argue with the professor, like debate with the professor about like if this does this, yeah, and whatnot. And most people are just trying to comprehend like the 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 material. He's like he understood it so much he could actually put some theoretical questions in there, and we're like, what?
Who is this kid and why is he in this class?
He was that kid. He was that kid. He
He's
was
a
that
mole.
smart kid. He was like, "Are you sure you're supposed to be here? Like, you sound like smart enough to like pass this with like a written test or something."
Yeah,
Yeah,
be the TA.
honestly. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, may I ask like why you're in Naperville?
Oh, I was like, I had a doctor's appointment today, and I've got another doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Ah.
So super fun stuff. But then
Okay.
we're heading to Southern Indiana after work tomorrow. We're driving down to get our marriage license and do some other wedding stuff.
Oh. How does that work? Marriage license.
Yeah, so we had to set up an appointment with the courthouse, and we
Mm.
go to the courthouse with a form of ID, basically sign some papers.
Say-
Um, yeah, to say like we're getting married or I'm because it's not we're married, but it's like we will be married, and you have to get the marriage license to be able to get married, but you have to get it like within 60 days of when you're gonna get married. And if like you get it, but you get married 63 days, you have to get another one before that because it's expired then. So it's kind of I think it's like a placeholder thing.
Hmm.
I
And
don't know.
you just can't get one like that. You're legally married.
Yeah, you can.
Ah.
You can get married at the courthouse. That's probably
Ah.
another option. Like you get the marriage license and then you get married. That's probably something else that they can do.
Yeah, because I've heard of that. I think my dad and mom, like, I don't know, out of the blue, they're at the courthouse and they're asking about like marriage license or whatnot. And like the judge said, I can marry you guys right now on the spot. You're like, okay.
Let's do it.
Mind you, they were together for I don't know how many years before that. But yeah,
They
it was
actually
like
just
on
met
the
in the lobby.
yeah. And so they got married by the court when they were um very young, but they didn't get officially married by the church until we were like in high school.
Mm,
And I think it's probably because they finally got time because they was always working so much,
yeah,
and they finally got like somewhat of measure on the apartments and getting them all fixed. Because those apartments needed a lot of work when they bought them. Because the previous owner, he was donezo with his
yeah.
career. Very successful businessman for sure, like biggest businessman in town, owned several businesses, and he was just selling his companies away because I think he passed away a few years after he sold, but yeah,
Mm,
he was trying to sell everything off because
yeah,
he was at the end of his career and sadly like life. But yeah, it's
yeah.
like, but yeah, kind of like the businessman here in Urbana. He's one of the richest people in the Urbana, or like landlord, and he's also selling his businesses now because he's on the end of his career. And
Yeah.
sadly, he has some sort of I don't know if it's illness or cancer that like he got very skinny.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, but I think he enjoys work so much that like I've seen him. I come on Saturdays at 7 in the morning to open or like to make sure everything's ready and work. And I've seen him here when I get here. And he's the owner of like the whole building, just like checking up on things and like seeing if anything needs to be cleaned up or anything.
Yeah.
This guy is like 60, 70 years old, maybe 80. Owns several businesses, probably the third or fourth richest person in the city.
Yeah.
And he's working at 7 in the morning on the weekend.
Hey, gives him something to do, I guess.
I just took one of the videotape. I'm like, yeah, this is why he's successful.
Yeah.
But
It's that work ethic.
he used to be a business, a cop for the U of I campus. But once he started wanting to get a family or start a family, he
Mm,
realized the cop salary wasn't enough to support his family.
yeah.
So he started a business, and then kept going with that. And I think real estate business as well, like construction. So you like build on. I don't know if it's like houses or like actual commercial. I know for sure commercial. I'm not sure about houses.
I was gonna say he could have been building your new store.
He kind of joked because my dad was taking so long. It was just my dad. Okay, dad's side is like he wanted to be the project manager. His first store built, so basically took him 2 years to build it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy comes in like it's taking you some time to build it. I could have got it done in like four months. I'm like,
Wow, it's like throwing shade over here. Okay,
he did not
it's his
care.
first one.
Honestly, I'm like, well, you own a construction company. You have
you
all the contacts done.
you've got all the experience under your belt.
Yeah, all you need, like, you know how to like set everything. It's like building a Lego set that you've done plenty of times. Yeah, you makes a few calls here and there, and boom, donezo. 4 or 5 months, done. Yeah, and he actually built um part of where we're at, like a new building in that time frame, like 6 to 8 months. It's like yeah, being the general contractor, you make a lot of calls to people and make sure they do the
Yeah,
work
yeah.
and deal with the city and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure with your dad, I mean, like you said, first store that he's being like that's being built for him, and it's like he probably wants things such like a particular way too with it, and just wants to have that key say in all of it. So, I mean, if I was in his shoes, I'd probably do the same exact thing.
And make
So I
sure it's a
mean,
good price too.
yeah,
And if you go with like the best, quote unquote, best price, like try to go for like the cheapest.
it'll
Sometimes
show.
you work with, you can tell why they have that price.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, sometimes you gotta get on people over and over again. You're like, well, he has such a good price. I'm like, this is why.
yeah. You pay for it in another way.
Yeah, it's like give him rights to do the actual work and like, cause yeah, some contractors we gotta do that. Or like, he has
Yeah.
license. He has a really great price. But you just gotta make sure you're on top of him, and
Yeah,
when he has free time to like work on it. And so,
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, your quote unquote theoretical gift is on its. No, it's not. It's not on its way, but it's on. It's. I got a true gift.
A theoretical gift.
Yes, I'm glad that's done. I was like worried. I'm like, what am I gonna get Sawyer and Candace? Like something like they'll use. And I saw the
Hey,
list. I'm like,
you
oh,
showing up was going to be good enough.
ah,
So,
yeah, it's a wedding. Get chills.
you get chills. Imagine what I'm feeling over here.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh. What are you feeling, Sawyer?
I'm feeling like there should be more time. Uh, but I joked with her today and I was like, you can still back out if you want to back out. And she's like, you need to stop saying that. And I'm like, okay. Sorry.
No, do not back out now.
But what we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 26 days.
26 days.
I'm just excited for the honeymoon.
Wait, what's the honeymoon?
We're going to Alaska.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. You gotta go to Alaska. It's so like out of the blue.
I know. And I love it.
I met this couple who this past year or like last year, um, the husband ended up not or like uh the husband's company was compensating him, like they just changed the whole compensation and like
For
he was just
what?
getting
Just
earning
his
less.
packages?
Huh?
For like him personally?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
was just earning less and less,
Yeah.
and I think he just got tired of it one day. And just like came home, was like asked his or told his wife, like, what if we just like sell everything and go traveling like, all around the United States? And the wife was like, well, if you make it happen, then Yeah, let's do it. And then so like for the next few months, he like decided to like start making it happen. And their plan was at first to buy a house, and sell their previous one, but instead they sold their previous house and just started traveling and saved, I think, more than six figures. Got like a truck and a camper and just traveled all throughout the United States. COVID happened, which made them stop, but they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like a really great time. We would just like go to a really nice place and like wake up when we wanted to wake up,
Yeah.
um, visit what we wanted to visit, and just like wake up and be like, okay, what can we do around here?
Yeah.
And then if they want to like travel to the place, like find their goal was to find somewhere nearby, which was 2 or 3 hours away from where they're currently at, and like where they could like park their camper. And so they were like with their camper, they joined. I forgot what kind of group it was, but they basically offered them like $10 a night for a spot, which
That's not
which
bad.
nice. Imagine instead of spending like what 200 for really nice spots, 300 or more, like minimum 100 for like a hotel.
Yeah.
60 to like 300. What's the most you've ever paid for a hotel?
Whew, I don't know. Probably one of the formals or something.
That was like what, like 210,
Those,
250.
yeah, like around like, actually, probably around like 300 for Vegas, a spot in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And I was with the coupons.
That'd be, yeah, Vegas would definitely be the priciest,
Yeah.
and especially the touristy spot. Oh, so
Is
that
that
made me
something
want.
that you would do? Would you just pack up and go traveling?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
made me want to do it so bad. Like, oh my goodness, and I can see myself like wanting to quote unquote work by like taking videos of like restaurants and whatnot while like I'm trying them.
Yeah.
Oh,
You could be a traveling vlogger and blogger and stuff and have photography, take the videos of everything as you're traveling by it and just blog it that way.
yeah, and people like set up their nice like vans to the. If you set up like a nice van like camper, you're pretty much set.
Yeah.
Save so much money on quote unquote housing. $10 a
Hmm.
night.
Like, that's ridiculous.
That's a burrito.
That's 10 McDoubles.
And so yeah, I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
And the reason why they did it was they would go. I'm not sure if they worked at nursing homes or they would visit nursing homes, but the old people were like, "We have the money to travel, we just don't have the energy." And then like cancer and sicknesses happen, and you're like, it's just better to just be at home if you're that sick or don't have that much energy to do so.
Yeah.
And so they didn't want to get to that age and not have the money but not have the energy to go out.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
so
you're just living with that regret.
and seeing it on people with that regret, I
Hmm.
think that affects you too. Just like, dang,
Yeah.
because the old people didn't really have a choice, and when I used to have a choice, you're like,
Hmm. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
uh, so
I mean, that just gets you thinking too. I mean, that's something that I feel like would be super fun. I just, I feel like my main issue would be like not having an agenda. I'd feel like, I don't know. I mean, just with work and everything now, I feel like you kind of sometimes get in that phase where it's like you feel like you have to get a lot done, and it's just like canceling that mindset completely. And you're like, okay, we know we want to see these couple of things. Like, what's along the way that we can stop at, and like just make your way there. Because it's not like you're on a deadline. It's not like you're like we need to get there by Tuesday, or else something's gonna happen, and you have to like crank out 20 hours in the car one day.
hmm
Like, you could just kind of go at your pace.
yeah, yeah, I would have to like have an make an income on the road, or else I
Mm.
wouldn't be able to do it. I
And that's
wouldn't
where
even be able to
your
just like,
vlogging and blogging could come in.
yeah,
Instagram.
yeah. Um, they have now a TikTok Creator Fund, where like they pay you for like the amount of views you get. But I joined that for a bit, and then I realized like the views were going down, and people have been saying that, and like the TikTok people were like, it doesn't affect your views, but a lot of people were saying that, and I saw it on mine, and I'm like, so I just left it.
Huh. Dude, is there any way for people that are like scrolling through to see that you have a fund? Oh,
No,
maybe it's just like the algorithm then, like maybe
yeah,
they
people,
like decrease the activity that you frequently pop up on people's For You pages and stuff.
uh-huh, yeah, cause yeah, for an account my size, I was quote unquote earning like anywhere from, I basically did it for 3 or 5 days.
Hmm.
I think it was like 60 cents, 70 cents, and like 99 cents each day. So I did it for 4 or 5 days. Ended up getting like $4. So,
Yeah, that's not
but
bad.
somebody was saying like they had really nice views and really engaged audience, and they screenshotted that he was like earning 10 grand, and we're like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, imagine those big TikTokers you're already getting sponsorships
Ooh.
for it, and then if you add this to it too, then like you're just like doubling up on the money that you're making.
The manager of the Hype House was like, they asked him like how much a TikTok brand deal can go up to, and he was like, it can go up to like 40 grand a TikTok post. And
For one post, 40 grand. Are
I
you
can see it.
kidding me?
I can see that for the Hype House right now, because at the time it was number one. It was like when Charlie was rising,
Yeah.
and it was quote unquote when she wasn't officially part of it, but she was hanging out enough of it that people basically saw her as being part of the house.
Yeah.
And the Hype House did not officially say she wasn't part of the house until afterwards, until
Yeah.
Charlie and them made it official. Like, we hang out with that like group of friends, but we are not officially a part of the Hype House.
Yeah.
But before that, yeah.
And I mean, for the Hype House at that point too, it's like you don't have to pay her anything. Like if she's hanging out, she's attracting that whole nother audience, so you're getting all that positivity.
Addison, the second,
Addison Ray.
yeah, Addison Ray, the second most followed TikTok star, um, was seen, I saw on Snapchat with a Kardashian, and people were like making, yeah, uh,
Huh.
interesting comments about that, because like a 20-year age difference, but
No, could just be a
uh,
mentor too.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, TikTok fame has, yeah, giving you a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. Have you seen since you stopped with the creator funds? Have your views gone back up to like kind of the normal area?
Yeah,
There's
and
got to be something in it then.
like I don't know why it was like those 3 or 4 days. But yeah, you would see like less engagement too. But the usually engagement I get is like from basically kids of like first, like I love your videos or whatnot, and yeah, and before that
Mm,
it wasn't. So I'm not sure it was just like age or what, or they just show you to like an older audience, which older audiences tend not to be as engaging as younger audiences.
yeah,
So, and then if you have a post that has more engagement, it tends to do better, and like just keep getting more views because of it.
hmm,
So that's kind of my somewhat theory based on nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so there's a lot of people who will left the creator fund because they noticed that too.
Hmm.
And so yeah.
Do you think you'll ever go back on it,
Uh,
or I guess join it?
uh. I really didn't like the view drop.
Yeah. I mean, it's big. If you see a big drop in the views, then your name's not getting out there as much because then that's going to be, I guess, contributing to your follower count too on top of it.
Yeah, it's like you might get money in the short term, but in the long term, like you're draining that out.
Yeah.
No more new people are coming in, and yeah, you're not getting an engaged audience.
It's cool though that a free app has given you $4. That's pretty
Uh,
cool.
I think,
Probably be like $1 after taxes.
well, going live so many times, I think I've gotten like, $70 from it. I'm like, what?
Oh,
That was
dang.
crazy. Dude, when Musically was big and like the big Musically guys would go on it, they basically tell you, give me the biggest gift and like I'll follow you, I'll shout you out too. And so people, kids with really wealthy parents with a credit card would send them gifts,
Yeah.
and you would just see it. Yeah, some people would be getting thousands of dollars on the live, the big ones, of course.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
That's crazy.
And people, I don't know why people think a shout out or like a follow does they think it's gonna get them famous,
Yeah.
but it doesn't do that much
Yeah.
for a
I mean, what
person.
are the odds if you see your favorite person shout somebody out? Yeah, you might click on their profile, but what are the odds that you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to follow you, I'm going to watch all your videos? Like, unless, like, I feel like there's, like, I don't know. It's definitely not the norm to have that happen. I feel like
Mhm.
most times people are just going to be like, oh, it's a shout out, and then keep moving.
But I think people think with a shout out, I'm become famous too.
Yeah. People will think we're best friends. Like,
They'll follow
yeah,
me too.
I'll
You're
be
like, huh?
doing this. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure you get some trickle down, but not as much as people think.
yeah, yeah. That's basically just of it. It's like it's way less than what people think, but
Hmm.
people are willing to pay for it, and uh, I, I think it's definitely people who like. Uh, I feel like it's bad to say this, but like if you have wealthy parents who just give you the credit card and like you buy on gifts, then you don't want to see like the impact of it.
Yeah.
But if you work, let's say, for that money, I don't think you would just be giving
A
a
random
random
person.
$50.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah. I think some of those gifts are like 100, but yeah. And so they get like a percentage of that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Like we talked about before, that's a lot of like Chipotle burritos.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the goal would be to get the Chipotle card. One free burrito a day. Oh my goodness. You see, oh, the Travis Scott burger.
There's like nothing special about it.
Oh, have you updated to iOS 14? Oh shoot, you're an Android.
No, I have not.
I went on YouTube yesterday. Second trending video was this lady describing iOS 14, and this YouTuber has like probably 10 or 20,000 subscribers, and she's number second on the trending list. Oh my goodness, that
Yeah, you know
that
that they had a bump in their subscriber count after that.
that probably would have been like an awesome feeling of like that's probably her best video ever.
Oh yeah.
Second on the trending page on YouTube,
Like you're getting a lot of activity. Well,
especially.
then you're just gonna be looking at your previous history and it's gonna be like this massive spike, and then you go right back down to normal. She's gonna be chasing that high forever. Like I could be number one. I could be number one.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's like part of the whole industry.
Yeah.
Chasing it high.
Oh
You're
yeah.
like,
I made it, but I could do better.
it's like, will Beyonce ever top the Halo song?
Let's not go attacking Beyonce's Beehive, okay?
Yeah, true,
That's
true.
that's apparently a group that you do not want bad on your side.
Okay. Monday. Okay. All right. Question of the day.
I'm gonna say question of the day is gonna be: would you drop everything and travel across your country? And if you do say yes, what's the first place that you would go to?
Oh.
And so, kind of does it for us. I mean, I'll say yes too. Like, I think it'd be really cool to do, but now I have to think of where I would go. So, where do you think you would go first?
Um. But it gave me like, got goosebumps. Colorado.
Born and raised. Let's go.
Were you really?
I was born in Colorado. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
Wheat
notice.
Ridge, Colorado.
I did not notice about you. Now that you said that, I'd probably go
Oh,
there. I'd be like, sorry, well, what other cool places? Go there and
I'm
travel.
like, I don't know. I was 3 when we moved. I don't know anything.
And because I would want to go there first, because I think there wouldn't be that many things to do. I and like I want to build up my options and be like,
Yeah.
okay, we have a lot more options than Colorado.
Well, they're like the red rocks that are there, which a lot of people go to, and then you can like ski down the Rocky Mountain or something. I don't know, but you can find little things. But yeah, then you can work it up to like Philadelphia, where you have all like the historical stuff there.
Huge cities where they have a ton of things to do,
Yeah,
and you're like so many options.
yeah,
I just chill out first and build up to like having the different options. And like, let's go here, let's go here. I don't like not want to go to like the big fancy places, but like the more mom and pop shops that like are, have the reputation of the locals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a local go-to spot that
For
like
sure.
it's not touristy yet, but you know it's gonna get there.
Yeah,
It's like the up and coming artist who like has great songs, but the whole culture doesn't know about him yet.
yeah. You got it before it blew up.
Yeah, and once it blows up, it's just like,
Yeah, then you have to find the next one.
yeah, yeah, having that thrill.
I feel like I would go to Maine just to be in the top right, and then I could kind of work my way down. So I'm thinking more like logistically about it, which I feel like is not the point of this exercise. But I feel like that's right. I would go up there, and then you can kind of hit all like the small, like Connecticut, Rhode Island, like all of those little ones, and you can just check a lot off of your list.
That makes sense. I don't know why, but I just didn't want to go to like really nice spots, and then end up going to like the middle of nowhere.
Well, you're in Colorado first. Where are you going to be going next? Like, what's around you? Utah?
Yeah, that's,
what are you going to find in Utah? No offense to all of our Utah listeners.
That's why I just want to get it over with now. Like, the major cities, I'm like, oh.
And then work your way up to the New Yorks.
Yeah. And get them while I'm so young, while I still probably like city life. And I'm not old. Or like, I just want a country, out in the country, and like peace and quiet. Let's go to the suburbs. I can see myself doing that too.
Oh yeah, I can see you doing that.
It's like when you start getting a family, you're like, there's too many people here. Yeah. I don't want this many people influencing my kids. And you're like,
we're going to Wyoming where it's just cattle.
And next thing you know, it's like they have the internet angel. They can contact as many people as they want. I'm like, yeah, true. Oh well.
That's a future angel problem.
That version when we get there. Okay.
But yeah, that was the question of the day, road trip. So let us know if you guys would go on a road trip across your country and where you would go first. And you can let us know the answer to that in the comment section below if you are listening on YouTube. If you are listening on any of the podcast platforms, you can shoot us your answer or any comments, recommendations that you have for us to talkmentuesday@gmail.com, and we will read through that. That inbox is popping off right now. It's crazy. So keep that up. But as always, we appreciate you guys taking some time out of your quarantines to listen to us. And we look forward to really talking with you more about random things next week too. But stay safe in the meantime, social distance, all of that good stuff. And we look forward to talking with you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.